So let's first talk about, we will talk about more about peptide bond when we talk about folding of protein. First let's see what is the protein structures. Level of folding, it is not classification. Remember, when we talk about the structural organization of protein, it is not classification. It is basically the level of organization. You can see this is primary structure. Primary structure is nothing but the chain of amino acid. These individual bits are chain. Individual bits are amino acid, and this amino acid chain is called primary structure. Just amino acid chain like this. This is called primary structure. When this chain of amino acid folds like this in right-handed alpha helical fashion. See, when I say right-handed, you have to do your hand like this, and you have to do like this. So this is spiral is right-handed alpha helical. Now beta sheet, it can be beta sheet like this. So this is beta sheet. So it can fold like this, like you fold your clothes like this, and then so this chain will fold like this. This is called beta plated sheet. This is sheet structure. This is helical structure, alpha helix. That is what. So it can fold either into this, or both. A protein can fold, have both structure, alpha, beta, both together. So you can see these two structures are called secondary structure, secondary folding. Now this secondary folding will fold on itself. So this alpha helix will fold on itself like that. So this is called tertiary structure. Now many tertiary, more than one tertiary structure when come together, it is called quaternary structure. So primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. Tertiary is monomer. Quaternary is polymer. Tertiary is monomer, quaternary is polymer. The difference between tertiary and quaternary is monomer and polymer. Dimer, trimer, tetramer are all quaternary. Monomer is tertiary. Myoglobin is tertiary protein. Hemoglobin has 4 myoglobin like structure. That is why it is called quaternary structure. So you can see this structure like this. So primary structure is nothing but sequence of amino acids. You can see sequence of amino acids. And unique primary structure decides the higher level of it. Because as I have told you, the primary structure, primary structure, all primary structure has free side chain. Free side chains like this, free side chains. And this free side chain will decide the folding, because I have already told you this free side chain, based on their affinity with water, they will either gain interior position. When it folds, they will either gain interior position or they will get exterior position. That depends on its affinity with water. So the hydrophilic side chains will get exterior position, and then hydrophobic side chains will get interior position. And that is how you will see this primary structure of protein. This sequence is very important for tertiary structure. So sequence determines the tertiary structure. So this sequence is very important. If you change the sequence, tertiary structure and quaternary structure will also be affected. For example, sickle cell anemia. In sickle cell anemia, what happens? There is only single mutation in one protein, beta chain. Single mutation, replacement of one hydrophilic amino acid with hydrophobic amino acid. Now you can imagine what a havoc that simple exchange of hydrophilic with hydrophobic causes to the cell, to the RBC. That causes that whole RBC to form a sickle cell. But this is the power of this primary structure. This primary structure is very, very important in deciding the tertiary and quaternary structure. So understand the sequence of amino acid is very important that decide tertiary or quaternary structure. This is very important, and this concept is often tested in NBME. So this concept, understand this concept. This concept is tested in NBME. So covalent, now primary structure is maintained by covalent bond. You know what is that covalent bond? Primary structure, the covalent bond is peptide bond. This covalent bond is peptide bond. So primary structure is maintained by covalent bond, peptide. This is also everything, all points are very important. Now, late 1950s and early 1960s revealed that amino acid sequences of proteins are genetically determined. And you already know, it is not a secret. You already have studied genetics. So the codon will decide the sequence of protein. Now you can see again the same thing, sequence, and this is peptide bond. This is peptide bond. So this is peptide bond. This is peptide bond. So now let me talk a little bit about peptide bond here. So peptide bond, you can see this is carbon, alpha carbon. With this alpha carbon, this is carbonyl carbon, and this is one amino acid, amino and acid. So this is hydrogen, this is hydrogen. Now with this, what will happen? There will be formation of bond between NH and this carbon. Again, this is alpha carbon, so there will be R2 and there will be S. Now this is, what is this? This is peptide bond. How does this peptide bond form? Somebody will have problems, so that is why I am writing the structure of amino acid itself, so that you will understand it better. So this is one amino acid. You can see this is one amino acid. The same amino acid I am writing in different color. Amino acid, you can see R and H group, and here I am writing it amino and H group. This is amino acid. So only I am writing two only, okay, so that you will understand first. So R2 group and H. Now let's see this. What will happen during formation of this peptide bond during translation process? What happens is this OH group will react with this H group, and because of this, there will be formation of this bond and release of one H2O molecule. Now there will be bond formation between this carbon, and this nitrogen, like this. And this bond is you may say this is a single bond, but the nature of this bond is partial double bond. Why? Because the oxygen has lone pair of electron. This nitrogen also has lone pair of electron. So what will happen? There is double bond. So double bond will make a conjugation with this double bond. Lone pair of electron and this double bond will make a conjugation. And that is how this bond is a rigid bond. This bond becomes a rigid bond. So while folding this protein into a secondary structure, this bond will not bend. This bond will be like this. So this is, I'm drawing the structure of secondary structure. This bond is like this. So this is rigid structure. So folding will happen at alpha position only. Folding will happen here, at here, alpha. This is alpha carbon. Now this again will fold. This is the rigid structure you will see is peptide. So the protein will fold like this. The protein will fold like this. So it may not be perfect, but see, this is protein will fold like this, alpha helix. So this the stalk you see is part of, like, see, triangular spiral. You can see it like a triangular spiral. So you can see each side of this triangle, 1, 2. This actually represent a part of peptide bond. So this protein folds like this, and this the flexible region. Everywhere you will see flexible region. These are alpha carbon, because the protein, the secondary structure, can fold only at alpha carbon position. So we'll talk little. So did you understand the nature of peptide bond? Nature of peptide bond is partially double bond. So peptide bond is partially double bond. Remember this. This is a very important concept in order to understand secondary structure. Now you can see, solve this question. Just solve this question. Sickle cell anemia, chronic hemolytic. Okay. Only replacement of one hydrophobic amino acid by hydrophilic amino acid is replaced by hydrophobic amino acid in beta chain. So simple change in sequence of amino acid changes. So simple change in sequence of amino acid changes structure of quaternary and hemoglobin as well as RBC also. From this concept, what would you conclude about the structure of protein? Be quick.
Is it A?
Yes. So primary structure decides secondary as well as tertiary and then quaternary. And say this is not classification of protein. Many after you study this, you will confuse with classification of protein. This is not classification of protein. This is structural organization of protein. Any protein is organized this way. Any protein. Give me example of any protein. Any protein will organize this way. First primary structure will fold into secondary and then tertiary. So this tertiary structure will be folded by, there are some protein inside our cell called chaperone. This chaperone protein will help in folding this protein. So we will talk about chaperone also. We will have the class on or TDL on this. So you can see type of bond in primary structure of protein is. What is the type of bond in primary structure of protein? Is it A, peptide bond?
Yes.
It is not a single covalent bond. It is a partial double bond. Do you remember now? Peptide bond is a partial double bond because this is peptide bond. You know, this is peptide bond. And I told you this is alpha carbon. This is also alpha carbon. Now I told you there happens because of lone pair of electron and this double bond. This double bond make a conjugation between this bond, and that is why this will be partial. This will also be double bond, and that is why the peptide bond is very rigid type of bond. So around this peptide bond, it will not rotate. So that is why I told you. So I told you the protein, when protein folds like this, so alpha helix fold like this. Okay, and this each stalk you see, each side of this triangle you see is a peptide bond. It representation of peptide bond. This angle is representation of alpha carbon. So N, this is C, this is peptide bond, and then again there will be carbonyl carbon, then again C, N, there will be N, and there will be this alpha carbon. So this is how this will fold. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
These are very subtle concepts, but very important concept. Now, which of the following is correct sequence of atoms in primary structure of amino proteins? Tell me.
D.
D. Great. NCC, 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 NCC.